Good morning, everybody. It is a Thursday, July 11th, 2024. We're going to jump in and take a look at what happened yesterday. It's been just a relentless bullish push for quite some time. And first thing I want to do, though, is I want to bring up the information for the webinar this weekend. So I will be bringing this up today and tomorrow. We have will be a part of the Investor Summit Prop Trader Special event this weekend. It is a webinar. Starts at about 11 a.m. Eastern on Saturday of this week, Saturday, July 13th, and we'll go until about say 4:35 p.m. Eastern. We will be presenting at 12 p.m. Eastern here, talking about how we map our charts out and find all of these awesome places to enter the market and exit the market. So go ahead, and I'll put the link in the description for the YouTube channel, and hopefully some of you will sign up and we'll see you there. You do have to register to get the link to be a part of the event. So got that out of the way. Let's go ahead and take a look at what happened yesterday and in this pre-market here with the CPI news release. I'll switch on back here and take a look. So as we were saying in the pre-market, still we gotta go ahead and hide some of these levels here. So let me do that and that, so these were not on the chart. So we came in yesterday and said, obviously very, very strong market. We do have those clues up from the highs for a much deeper, bearish sell-off. But we would need to hold below specific levels before we even think like a bear, right? And sure enough, the market opened and it just continued to hold up at the all-time highs and push. So let's take a look here. In the pre-market, they came up and tested into the high of the day before there. It's one of our daily power levels. And then right out of the open, you get a beautiful peak above and fail pattern right here with the divergence off that level. So there was a great opportunity to take a little short. Of course, you should have known that on the way down here, the best place to take profit was just in front of that pocket right there where the VWAP and the 200 meet, right? And sure enough, they came right to the 200 to the tick, and you got yourself a nice long opportunity, 56.40 to 56, just over 50. You might have grabbed just about 9 to 10 points in that trade. And you could even see as they were coming back to the previous daily high, still some trouble, but interestingly enough, they held the FMA, right, really close, and then popped out. Then we got a little small pullback, testing into VWAP. Could have tried buying it. Unfortunately, when you bought it to the tick here, no risk, but you only got yourself 2-3 points to the previous daily high, and it failed again. And at that point, we got this little push below, and then that was the beginning, I believe, of the major push higher. So we got a new all-time high, pushing up in just within the first half hour of the open there. Got a nice, healthy little pullback, and then we got the rip higher. And if you look at the retracement there, that is one of your typical 38 retraces, right? Dipped right into the 38, and then went ahead and began a huge push out, right? And sure enough, the market just had a rip your face off rally yesterday once they met with that 38 and the VWAP here, and then ripped higher. So let's look at what happened. You got a great opportunity here to buy the pullback to VWAP, and it was inside the chop, so I do respect if you were not trading until we got the breakout. But once we got the breakout, if you missed that tag of VWAP, you had all these opportunities to buy the market on the way up. And we can kind of zoom out here and look at the bigger picture, look at how everything transpired once we got the breakout. And notice they came up first to our first expected resistance area. First expected resistance was that 56.51 half. And that was, again, as we're pushing to these new all-time highs up into this uncharted territory where the market has never traded before, this is exactly where we expected there to be trouble. And for about 5, 10, 15 minutes there, they were testing right into it, having trouble, and then we got the breakout, right? And so once we got through there, great opportunities to be aggressive. You should have understood how strong the market was as it was ripping higher, and you could have grabbed all these aggressive pullbacks to the FMA, right? So there were great opportunities from that perspective. But if you were just waiting to trade our levels, every single level on the way up became a perfect opportunity to buy, right? So first level, they had trouble for 15 minutes there and then finally broke out. And unfortunately, it pulled back and just missed the level by, I mean, we're talking 2 or 3 ticks there. Instead, it held our FMA, right? And then broke out. So that first level didn't quite work for a pullback, but then each level after there became a great little area, even all the way up to this third level. So let's take a look. Market broke out super strong. This first one, honestly, they didn't come into it and get a nice pullback, but it was a very strong market and they pulled back and then held it. And you would have held with less than 2 points of risk there. So you could have bought the pullback on that level. Again, noticing how strong the market was as it's ripping higher. The pullback to the first level that we had on the chart. Then our second level, notice they came right to it, pulled back, kissed it to the tick and started a pullback, and just not enough strength on the bearish side to get it any further. But obviously a major reaction from this next expected resistance level. And then what happened? They pulled back and got a double bottom to the freaking tick right off of it there with huge divergence on the second test for you to go ahead and jump in long again. And then finally, our last target in this area, in this range in the chart, before we got up to the next one here, was up here at 56.83. And sure enough, they pushed up through, pulled back right to it there. So you could have literally bought a pullback to 56.65, a pullback to 56.74, and a pullback to 56.83, and you would have had a really, really nice trade up to the high of the day. And then it pulled back, and interestingly enough, just to kind of confirm how strong this level really is, they came back right to it at the end of the day and tried to bounce. Unfortunately, as you can see, didn't get very far, and then the market closed. So here we are coming into this morning now, and as you can see, here's the drop of, I believe we had CPI and jobless claims at 7:30 this morning Central, 8:30 Eastern, and got a huge pop, pushing to new all-time highs here. And now as we come into the open in the next couple minutes, next 10, 15, 20 minutes, they are getting a pullback. So a pretty nice little jump in volatility there if you were trading this morning. And now, as you can see, getting back down below the 200, the VWAP, and holding the back end of the high of yesterday. So that is the review for today. Also kind of interesting to note that on the pullback here, where did they hold? At least for the first 2 tests, right off the holy orange power level for today, and our expected resistance level as the market was pushing yesterday. So still basically respecting a lot of these areas. Let's go ahead and jump up to the higher time frames now and see what they have to say for this morning.